If there's a rockstar smartphone of the Android world, it's got to be the new Pixel 2. In a year filled with phone superlatives, Google's own Android devices can still whip up enthusiasm like little else. For 2017, HTC made the 5-inch Pixel 2 and LG made the 6-inch 2XL. The family resemblance is clear though, for better or worse. Google's anodized metal and glass feels fantastic in your hand, but dare I say it looks a little drab compared to what Apple, Samsung and others have been making lately. The black on black colour scheme doesn't help. Most controversial, however, is likely to be the displays. The Pixel 2's Full HD screen looks good, but it's surrounded by some seriously huge bezels. Retro might be a perennial fashion, but this takes it a little too far. Meanwhile, the Pixel 2 XL gets a 2880 by 1440 screen, and its 18 by 9 aspect rather than the 16 by 9 of the smaller phone. The extra inch and more bountiful pixels are welcome, but sadly the POLED panel isn't the most satisfying to the eyes. Colours are notably muted compared to the Galaxy S8 or an iPhone 8 Plus, and there's a distracting blue tint that's visible as soon as you look at it off axis. At least you get great sounding speakers, with stereo front-facing drivers above and below the screen. I doubt it'll be enough to pacify the headphone jack fans furious about the absence of a 3.5mm socket, however. Google includes an adapter for the Pixel 2's USB Type-C port in the box, but it's clear that it'd rather you pick up some Bluetooth headphones instead. If you do, watch out for the Made for Google badge. Among other things, headphones sporting it will support Fast Pair, which streamlines the pairing process down into a pop-up notification and a single tap. Small detail, but a big improvement in usability. Indeed, Android 8.0 Oreo is full of pleasing touches. The home screen search bar has been shifted to the bottom so that it's easier to reach one-handed. In its place is an at-a-glance space, which normally shows date, time and weather, but can also flag your upcoming appointments, traffic jams and soon even more personalised information. Home screen icons now have notification dots to let you know there's something new inside. Long press the icon and a shortcut menu unfurls, and you can drag shortcuts out to give them their own icon on the home screen. On the lock screen meanwhile, both Pixel 2 phones get always-on notifications, with a dim readout of the time and date. As well as listening out for the OK Google trigger phrase, Oreo can also hear what music is playing nearby and flash up the details. It works using a local database rather than sending any recorded audio to the cloud, and you can jump straight from the results into Spotify or your choice of streaming music service. Squeeze the Pixel 2, meanwhile, and the new Active Edge feature launches the Google Assistant without you saying a word. Eventually, the Assistant will play host to Google Lens, a visual search engine that can spot landmarks and more in your photos. It's still a work in progress, mind, and doesn't always see something it can recognise. If you've got a Google Home, meanwhile, you'll be able to send messages back to the smart speaker and have them broadcast to remind the kids about homework or just terrify your pets. The original Pixel's camera is still one of the best around, so the Pixel 2 had a lot to live up to. Unlike the dual camera systems most rivals are adopting, Google opted for a single 12.2 megapixel sensor and plenty of clever algorithms. There's dual pixel and laser autofocus, f1.8 optics, and optical and electronic image stabilization. I had my doubts, but they proved unfounded. The Pixel 2 is capable of some incredible photos, whether it's combining multiple frames for an HDR shot with impressive dynamic range, or producing portraits that somehow manage to put dual lens cameras in the shade. Those software smarts do a great job of differentiating between even fine hair and whiskers, while the fast shutter and stabilization make it hard to miss a shot. Since portrait mode and other effects are software driven meanwhile, the Pixel 2's front-facing 8 megapixel camera gets to use them as well. You get 3 years of maximum resolution Google Photos uploads thrown in with the phone. Like the cameras, the guts of both Pixel 2 phones are the same. Qualcomm's Snapdragon 835 gets 4GB of RAM and either 64GB or 128GB of storage. There's no memory card slot, but Oreo's smart storage will automatically remove old media that has been safely backed up in the cloud. The Pixel 2 and Pixel 2 XL may look sober, but their performance is anything but. If you can stomach the $649 price for the Pixel 2 or the $849 for the 2 XL and can do without a headphone jack and wireless charging, these could well be the best smartphone cameras on the market today. Now let's hope Google can build enough of them to meet demand.